What up, though, and welcome to the Herm Rewind Show. The show we go over and recap everything Detroit Lions from the following game. Plus, we got a little bye week coming up, so we're going to do our MVPs on offense and defense through the first quarter of this season. Herm, Low, you guys were there Monday night. It was a party, nationally televised game. Calvin Johnson finally got inducted with you guys within the Pride. How was it, man? Herm, I'm gonna start with you because Low said you had a good time.
and, well, anytime you hanging out with your guys, man, and your family like that, it's always a good time. It was great, man. Always seeing the legends that go in and have the others come out, the teammates from all the different eras, and then also those that are already inducted to be there to celebrate receiving another obviously phenomenal player for the Lions to come in. So it was cool, man. And seeing a lot of the guys out there, and it's always like when you go back to like a high school reunion, you're trying to see, who's doing what, who looks like what, who still looks the same, and then who looks different. And so, you keep those stories kind of to yourself or whatever. So you got some guys coming in looking like they want to be best dressed or most fit, stuff like that. But it is what it is, man. But overall, everything was cool, man. It was a great environment, great evening. It was enjoyable.
Yeah, no, it was. You're right, man. It was just good. It's always great when you get a big number of guys that turn out, and we had almost 100 guys there, and that's great to see these guys come in. And like you say, it's guys I played with, played against, and guys that we really develop a bond. And like Herm said, it's just interesting to see how we grow throughout the years. How we look. And I always say this, yeah, man. But I always say this though: the older you get, the better you were. So you just be telling lies. It'd be a lot of lies swapped up in that tunnel because, like I say, the older you get, the better you was. So look, I'm on the version of I blocked 3 guys and beat Barry to the end zone. So, that's my version of how good I was back in the day. What you think about that, Herman J?
I think that was good, Lomas Brown.
I know you got a comment to make on that.
No, man, you know what? Hey, your summary of everything that took place, man, is on point. So I'm gonna leave it there. I'm gonna park it there, and let
because
us
I
move
was
on.
gonna take it somewhere else.
No, man, listen, dude. I'm gonna just let you
have
it.
That what you said you heard a little birdie. He had a good time, didn't you? Yeah, he did. It was flowing.
I had an excellent time.
The spirits were flowing. I'll say it like
all
that.
I know is this.
Can I get away with that?
Hey, dog, listen. I had coffee, I had cake, and had a couple adult beverages. Yeah, it was all good.
Yeah, it was flowing. Yeah. His alter ego was out. Yeah, I don't know.
Whatever,
who
man.
That
No,
was.
that's my honesty.
Yeah,
that's what it is.
I don't know who that was.
I speak honest. Honesty is a tough conversation to have in most places. You understand? So we roll how we roll. But
was there a nickname for the alter ego? Is there a nickname for him?
Well, he say he's Optimus Prime. That's what he says, So, and he gets in that mode too. He be blowing up on everybody, every subject, everything, So that's Optimus Prime right there. That's Herman J. You looking at right now. But when the spirits are flowing, then he go to Optimus Prime. So I'll leave it at that.
Hey, Lo. So we'll come back. We'll come back down to Gator guy right there, because Lomas Brown. I'm gonna just leave it. I'm gonna just park it there.
Yeah,
Go ahead. I'm gonna move on.
Go ahead.
I'm gonna move on, brother.
Yeah, I am too. I'm moving on.
All right. Speaking of moving on, Detroit Lions in a little bit of a break. Moving on the season, we finished 3-1 through the first 4 games. But I got to know, the people want to know, who are your offensive MVPs through these first 4 games for the Detroit Lions? Offense kind of started off a little slow. The last game, though, Jared Goff, what? That was that was insane. I'm gonna let you guys speak on it, though. I know you were there. Law, I'll let you go first on this one.
Hey, look, well, my offensive MVP is the same that it was before the season started, and that's David Montgomery. I said it coming into the season. He's the one that make that engine go. Jared has been playing good. He's picking his game up, but I'm telling you, without David Montgomery, man, that offense doesn't look the same. And to me, I still say they underutilize him because last game he had 12 carries with the ball and 1 catch, 13 touches of the ball. That's not enough for him. To me, he needs to touch the ball at the least 20 times, maybe 25 times a game. He needs to have the ball where he touches it that much because he impacts that offense like that. And like I say, I think everything runs through him. And that's how that offense has been clicking.
Because my man was coming down all that damn speed, and all David really did was put a shoulder down.
Yeah.
And next thing you know, like he got sniped from the nosebleeds or something like that. My man's laying on the ground.
I'm telling you, man.
Like an N1 commercial.
Yeah, he but you know what? If you look really at the way the running backs perform and the way they run, Jahmyr Gibbs and also David Montgomery, they're hard downhill runners. Can they be elusive? Yes, but man, they once they give you a cut and then they find a seam and they hit it, I mean, they're coming pad level low. They're coming in to where their center of gravity and the weight over their feet and the momentum alone, when a linebacker or a defensive back or a safety has to break down, they're going to lose that battle because they're going to get forward momentum. You very seldom see these guys get hit and knocked backwards, and if they get tackled by their ankles or something like that, yeah, they get brought down a little bit more, but man, just trying to get to them when they got a full steam going or they get outside the edges or they're coming through the lanes, they're just two of the hardest running backs that I've seen, man. And they're not small. I mean, they're not little guys either.
No, he's a little pack of muscle. I can't really call him little because he's built up this offseason too. You're talking about people taking his ankles, the touchdown that he had. So that's how they tried to tag him by his ankles. He just still reached over the goal line and got that 6. And he's been so impressed with me this offseason. And I feel like I understand why too. And deservedly so. Jahmyr Gibbs gotten a lot of hype. He looks fantastic at times. I think he had the most 20-yard runs last year. But it's with Monty though, it's like, hey, don't forget about me now. I'm still here. I still pack a punch, and I feel like that's how he took this offseason. That's why we're seeing what we're seeing. He's just got that dog in him, and they bring the best out of each other.
Yeah, they do. And if you look at between the two, and you're talking 7 touchdowns. That's a big offensive output for these guys through the first 4 games of the season. And you're getting the production out of them. You're getting utilization of a strong downhill moving forward offensive line. And then it's amazing to see how strong and how dangerous this running game is when they get into the red zone, because it really throws you off, because knowing that they're going to have to pass getting into the end zone, and they don't take a lot of shots, into the end zone inside the red zone, but it throws the defense off because you can't sit there and focus just on the running game, because you still got these guys that can beat you and just chip away at getting closer and closer. And then once they get inside the 10, I mean, it's like it's almost impossible unless they implode.
They don't take no shots. We don't take no shots. I mean, we don't. I mean, even if you look at J-Mo's 70-yard touchdown pass, it was like 15 air yards, and he took it the rest with his leg. So that's the one thing, too, that's kind of a little concerning to me, because, again, they got to bring those, Herm, they got to at least bring one of those safeties up, at least tight up in the box for David to try to stop the run. So you should be able to take shots downfield, especially if you got one deep safety back there. And you talking about J-Mo with his speed where he could clear them out. You could bring guys underneath. But we don't even do that. I mean, we rarely do that. So that's my biggest concern, because, a defensive or secondary know that you're not looking downfield, then they're going to start tightening up and start figuring out ways to just try to sit on that run, knowing that, with Jared, and I used to pick at him and say he wasn't athletic, but look, he don't ran one in, he don't caught one in. I'm like, man, he be scrambling, getting first downs. I'm like, okay, I might have to leave Jared alone. Jared trying to show a little athletic ability out there. So yeah, man. So, but like I said, I don't know if y'all went through defense, but
No.
I know offense is David Montgomery for me.
Yeah, I'm not mad at that one either. Herm, who's your offensive VP? Don't feel bad.
Well,
It's David
I was
Montgomery. He's the man.
Yeah, if I had to only pick one guy, I'd probably go with David Montgomery because I think he's been the stabilizer. I think he's been the consistency. And then, as Lomas had said, even without having the touches, that I think, this is someone you can make a workhorse. This is someone you can actually utilize a lot more, really your running game as a whole. And I don't think anyone's going to be mad at you. There's two parts to it, though, right? There's the line that I think gets mixed. So when we talk about individuals, it's going to be hard to ever pick an offensive lineman. You have to pick them as a unit because I think that's where it begins and ends. Right now, when you look at the time that Jared is getting in the pocket, especially if they don't have any really significant threats on the defensive side that puts pressure around them, they can build a solid pocket. He's an excellent passer. The running game goes regardless. Like we've seen them have to work their way through tough defenses. We've seen them having to work their way through offensive conditions and situations that weren't ideal. And they're kind of very, very stable and steady. The passing, it was good to see that they were getting the ball down the field. Jared Goff was a close one I started to pick. And it was important that I tell you all of these because, with the exception of the one game that this year that I thought he just did not play well, I believe that he's done well in the other three, right? So, out of the 4 games, you've had one off game, but the other 3 have been, pretty consistent. And then also you see it culminating in this final game against Seattle before the break. I think he's the game really it begins and ends with him. He's either going to put him in a great position because he's going to capitalize off of the play action in the running game and be able to be an accurate passer and make the right moves, or he's going to put them in positions to where he can hit the short passes with consistency. He can negate the pass rush because he's making smart decisions. They're making line calls. They're making right adjustments on the hots and the reads. Otherwise, if you have to go to one-dimensional and become all offense running the football, I think it's going to be easier for teams to stop it. So I think you still need that Jared Goff component just as much as you need the offense. I just like to see a little bit more of the big plays in the passing game because I think this team is capable of those knockout punches.
Yeah, and just real fast, I want to give Graham Glasgow some love, man, because I'm telling you, man, for him to shift in there at center and take over from Frank, and them boys was balling, man. You see where a lot of David runs were going, like right up the middle, man. So Graham did an excellent job of moving from guard to center for that game to fill in for Frank, and he might have to do it, because he got a partially torn pec. So he might be in there, for a few more games. Good thing they got this bye week that they're on. Hopefully they can get some of these guys healthy. But that was just a great job by Graham just filling in, and Coyote for filling in for Graham. So it was just a great job, and the line seemed like they didn't miss a beat. So, yeah.
Yeah, I'm with you. Those guys deserve some love. Graham and Coyote stepping in there. Like you said, I like the duo runs. I like the bully ball. And I think, like you guys were saying, it sets everything up for Jared Goff to do what he does. 18 for 18, but 12 of those plays come off of play action. And what helps play action is running the damn ball. So shout out to, like you said, offensive line and Monty. Some people, though, Herm, some people saying they're missing Optimus Prime out there at the X spot. I'm just saying, use somebody out there, man.
It's important to have a big play. J-Mo, he's definitely one we've always talked about. If he gets the ball in a short distance, he's got man coverage or he finds creases, he explodes. Once he gets it and he catches it on the run, he's already in ride, which makes it very difficult for a defensive secondary. But then when the play action is working or the running game's working, it brings those safeties down. It condenses the defense to commit closer to the line. You have to be able to take those random shots over the top because you're going to need those big plays. When you get down the game, you're not going to have the ability sometimes just work your way down the field because the clock's not kind of there for you. So having that big play threat also keeps the back so your run game continues to flourish. So That's if I had to pick one last thing, is the explosive play we saw, whether it's the one with J-Mo or the one on the field that need to happen. And I think the team's capable of that, but we just haven't seen enough of it. But I agree, going back to the run, that is the number one part of this offense. It is the one that I think makes people most comfortable when you think about this team long term and their ability to be competitive in any game.
Now the defense, a little bit of a pleasant surprise. Maybe not so much a surprise for everybody, but I know we've been kind of waiting for this defense to turn the page a little bit, enter that top 15. I know we had a top 10 conversation last week, but 29 points later, I don't know if we feel the same. Is there a defensive MVP for you, Lo?
Yeah, I mean, that had to be concerning. I mean, again, it's just the quarterback that can buy time is the one that's killing us. I mean, it ain't what they're doing with their legs as much. It's just them moving around in that pocket, just shifting around, buying a couple of more seconds to let their guys come open downfield and hitting them with the passes. That's what's been killing us. So that, and I noticed a little bit of, again, perimeter runs, teams getting to the edges. Kenneth Walker, he was killing us on the
That's
edges.
a bad boy.
That's where he got most of his yards, were on the perimeter. So, and that shouldn't happen when you play a wide nine. We play a wide nine and you play a wide nine because you got those defensive ends so wide out to where they're supposed to, even with their natural rush, they should be able to keep contained. And if you get gashed like that, or if they could get on the perimeter in a wide nine defense, then that's going to cause some problems. So I think just those two things. And, I was just going to ask Herm too, man. It just seemed like, Herm, what's your thoughts on Terrion? Does it seem like I know coaching staffs, the opposing coaching staffs are going to target him. I know they doing that, Herm. But what I'm saying is, do you think referees are doing that too? Do you think when they sit down and they watch film, do you think they're kind of targeting him too? Because look, we went back and looked at the penalties. Like we looked at Brian Branch's penalties his rookie year. He had like 2. And you got Terrion right now. He got 8, Herm. He got 8 right now. So what's your thoughts on that? Or is it just the learning curve and he just going through it?
It's more, to me, it's more than a learning curve. I mean, he knows what a PI is. He knows what holding and pass interference is. There's a trust and confidence. So it reminds me of when you see receivers and they come in. We talked about when J-Mo was really learning the system. It seems like he's constantly thinking. He's trying to perform because he's a high draft pick. And his hands didn't look quite as, what we saw when he was in college. We didn't see the same technique. We saw some inconsistencies. We saw some uncertainty, ability to compete at this level. You're experiencing the exact same thing with Terrion Arnold, in that I think he's in the right spot, he's in the right place, but he's not thinking it through to say, you know what, I have to do the detailed items, the small things, like getting my head around, like locating and touching where you can kind of feel or sense where the receiver is. You got to start to read the eye movement of the receiver to see when they're moving their hands or their eyes, reaching back for a ball, because then that gives you the opportunity to kind of learn when they're going to be looking for a pass or extending their hands, play the hands versus playing the ball sometimes, because you see guys that will do that. And these are tools that he has to learn that is going to be used against them, because at the NFL level, everyone's developing a new something to be competitive at that level. You can't come in with what you got away with in college and think that it's going to all of a sudden transfer over and you're going to have the same level of success. So if I'm working with him right now, I'm working on the details of things. He's in the right position, but it's like, man, here's, get with St. Brown, get with Randall L and some of the receivers and talk to them. If I'm a receiver, I used to talk to my defensive backs about what were they doing and what did I would do with Tim off on my route, or what they, would make them want to know and read what I was doing and how they would play me. You have to have that kind of same dialogue. Most people think it only has to come from your position coach. No, you need to go talk to Aaron Glenn. You need to go talk to Randall L. You need to go talk to St. Brown and the receivers and so on and so forth, and some of the other veterans, and they will give you those type of things. So, but right now it is a little concerning because he's going to be targeted, because if you can get, that's just as no different than catching a 50-yard pass or a 20-yard pass or a big play pass down the field. If you throw it up, you don't need to catch it. You just need to get the PI, or you need to get the holding or the penalty, and he's going to get targeted for that.
Yeah, I just wanted, I'm sorry, I was looking down because I just wanted to make sure. So he has been penalized 8 times this year, second most in the NFL. So, so that's why I just wanted to make sure. I didn't want to just throw out no number like that without making sure of that. So, yeah, I just wanted to know, man, because that just seems to be something that just kind of like glaring out right now. And I haven't really been around that before, that whereas that, kind of seemed like one guy getting penalized like that. So,
That's
it'd be
two per
interesting.
game. When you think about it, that's 2 PIs a game, or 2 penalties a game, I should say.
Yeah.
And if you look at it at that pace, you go in the entire season. That's a lot to kind of unpack there. So there's some things that have to get cleaned up like right away, because you wouldn't even expect that probably over an entire season. For the most part, unless you're playing aggressive man coverage or some other things. And some of these penalties are occurring when they just really shouldn't. And so they definitely have to clean that up.
Yeah, put some boxing gloves on in practice. They can't grab nobody.
Yeah.
Who's been leading the way on the defensive side of the ball? Because the first 3 games, we kind of held our own in terms of points. It's just the Seattle game, it kind of got let loose a little bit. Who do you think's been the MVP on the defensive side?
Hey, look, I don't know what it is with Seattle, man. I'm telling you, they just think about it, the last 3 games before this game, they put up like 51 on us. They put up like 48. They put up like 38. And then this last game, whatever this last game was, man, this is crazy. The point, and it's all been Geno. It's all been. I bet Geno wish he could face the Lions every week, man, because it's been crazy what Geno been doing to us. But I'm gonna tell you who's been my guy on this year, and even though he didn't play this last game, is Brian Branch. I mean, that was my guy, because, and it's not, if you look at the stats, you'll be like, oh well, but it's how valuable he's been to that defense, meaning where they have to put him at. Man, dudes like, where's Waldo, man? You don't know where's Brian, man. Man, they have him up in the box. They got him on the end of the line of scrimmage. Like he a big fella. They got him deep. You don't know where he's at and stuff, and he's so valuable. I don't think Seattle would have moved the ball as easily against us if Brian would have been back there. But unfortunately, like I say, he missed that game. But for me, on the defensive side of the ball, he's my guy, even though he missed that game. And I know who you gonna go here, Herm. I'll let you go because I think who you gonna say,
because a lot of people gonna go with some of the obvious. I mean, I think a lot of us would want to say Aidan Hutchinson. I think there's some disruption that he's done. He's had the constant pressure of going after a lot of the quarterbacks that we've seen. I think this defense is definitely going to have problems with any quarterback that has the ability to get outside of the pocket or run or has that dual threat capability. Is still extremely concerning. Geno had plenty of opportunities to take off and run or do some other things downfield, and he didn't. He just wasn't that type of a player, and yet they were still able to put up those type of points. So there's obviously some problems and some holes on defense that they still going to have to fix, and it's not just a Seattle team problem. I think it's a matchup issue. I'm going to go with Kerby, man, Kerby Joseph, man, and here's why.
Yeah.
It was a tough one between him and Branch in the secondary, because I think those have been kind of the ones who have patrolled the back end of it, and they truly, man, are playing sheriff back there, and they're making it so that the big plays, will they get beat underneath? Yeah, when there's a lot of opportunity for quarterbacks to get outside the pocket, it makes it really difficult for them to continue to hold it down. But you given the concerns that we had about the secondary coming into the season, they become a very strong component here on the run support. They've been really good in pass defense. They've broken up some really big plays. They've come up with some interceptions in critical moments. So this, like I said on offense, if I could give it to two, I would just give it to the two running backs because I think that combination was awesome, and I think the combination of Branch and Joseph in the deep thirds and quarters of the secondary at times, man, they're truly one of the two of the best tandems at that position.
Yeah. I like that, Herm, because you're right, Kerby. I love Kerby too. And he's like a kid, but man,
energy, man.
They're
having fun with it. Yeah.
Hey, they stopped them from doing this flip through the
Didn't
introduction.
they do it,
Now
though?
you come out and do the somersault. I think the coaches they ain't want them to do it no more and stuff, man. But yeah, man, Kerby always got a smile on his face, man. But he
just plays with energy, man.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Yeah,
Kerby's a dog. I remember too for Monday night they showed him doing the backflip out the end zone. Even the announcer was like, "Whoa, I don't know if you want to be doing all that before a game now."
I know they probably said something to him like, because that could
out.
That could easily be on the bloopers reel right there.
Yeah, honestly, too, my MVP honestly would have been between both the guys you said, and I thought I was gonna be the odd man out because I thought everyone was gonna say Aidan Hutchinson, and I guess when I ask Lomas, you specifically because you played offensive line, the pressure stat that's become like the new phenomenon and advanced analytics. How much does that affect a quarterback versus a sack? Because I feel like, you may get that pressure recorded and have it down there, jot down as a number, but are they all created equal? Because sometimes pressure, like you said, Geno just find another lane and can get a guy down the road, or sometimes you pressure into making a sloppy throw. Is the pressure stat kind of overrated sometimes?
Yeah, I think so. I do. And you're right about that because you're right. I mean, and then how do you judge, like you were saying, what is a true pressure? Like you're saying with Geno stepping up in the pocket compared to having to stay back there. Then some quarterbacks naturally move around in the pocket anyway when they don't have to. Some of them get up out of there when they don't have to. So it'll be interesting to see how they judge what a true pressure is. But I think the thing that the pressure does do is that it could speed up. Well, I definitely know it affects young quarterbacks. I definitely know that, But I think sometimes it can help speed up a quarterback. You kind of feel it, thinks he feel pressure and, I better get this ball out my hand. So I could see it from that standpoint, what pressure can do. But, man, you got to be able to hits and sacks. That's what's going to really get a quarterback. When you have to pull that quarterback up off the ground, or he's being sacked, that's what's going to really, start affecting them. So, I mean, the veteran quarterbacks, they deal with pressure. That's what they built on, is pressure. So they know how to deal with that. But those hits and sacks, I think that's the cumulative stuff that really takes a toll.
Yep, that was just right to say that. I think the hit on quarterbacks are going to be more meaningful to me than the pressures, because the pressure is good, but if quarterbacks are familiar with that and they can step up into a solid pocket, or if they're able to scramble and get outside of that pressure, then it's kind of for naught.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. That's what I was, because I see the stats all the time, and last year he led the league in pressures. At least he was like second or first, right around there. But you look at our defensive play throughout the years, like I never really felt like we were pressuring any quarterbacks outside of when he finally got to him or got his hands up and stuff.
Yeah, so and I'm sorry,
no.
But I do like Terrell Williams, our new D-line coach.
Yeah,
I like him, man. I'm telling you, can see a difference in how our D-line plays with him being there. And then they do a lot more stunts, too. They do a lot more ETs, TEs. They do a lot more stunts. And then the other thing I noticed about our defense more and more, and Aaron started doing it towards the end of last season, or maybe halfway through last season. Bruh, our linebackers, they play this way. They playing downhill. They attacking the gaps now and stuff. And, that helps the run game, because we've had one of the best run games and have one of the best run versus our defense. I think we finished fourth last year, I think we're in the top 5 right now, you know, with our run game. So we solid against other teams trying to run up against us and everything. And I'm telling you, a lot of that is because how they play them linebackers now shooting downhill. I'm telling you, man, we shore up that one, you know, not letting people get outside of us. Then we're going to force teams to have to just throw against us because they won't be able to run.
Yeah, I think that's where we missed Brian Branch in that last game, just because he got that kind of like the free roam, and he could have cleaned up on the outside a little bit there. One more thing I want to ask about on defense. And by the way, I agree too with Terrell Williams as well. Like, I listened to an interview with Josh Paschal, and they asked him what's different. He said, "Quit doing all this cute stuff. You take your big ass and bull rush." You know what I'm saying?
Telling you, man. I'm telling you, man. He nice, man. That's what Aidan been doing a lot more of. I noticed this year, a lot more bull rushes that he's been doing a lot more. But they say every time you talk to one of the D linemen about Coach, they say, man, they have nothing but great things to say about him and stuff, and even where he came from. So that was a great pickup for the Lions, you know, kind of undercover. That's kind of went undercover. You know what I'm saying? You hire them, and now you kind of see how that hire, you know, is really affecting his group, that defensive line group.
And in his last one, Herm. Oh, go ahead.
Yeah, go ahead. No, I was going to say, you know, just one real quick part on the defense. You know, I was going to ask you, or we can chop it up about it if you like. But you know, I look at what the defense does. Now I look at how their linebackers are downhill. I look at how they're very aggressive with wide ends, and then how they look to squeeze the pocket. They get containment. There's containment that gets outside at times, but it seems like I think. Because I can only speak about what we've done and what I've seen in terms of if I'm an OC and I'm looking at the Detroit Lions defense, you know, there's ways in which you can use a lot of what you see them doing against them, especially when those ends are just pinned back and they're coming in and the angles. You got your linebackers playing tight to the line or coming downhill, because there's so much that happens and opens up behind them. So the quick passes are actually there. There are lanes that are being created naturally because people are vacating spaces. And it's I'm wondering which team is going to attack that first. And I think the luck that the Lions have had, and I will call it a little bit, they've been a little lucky on it, is that they haven't really faced teams that have 2 to 3 or more weapons offensively that are highly dependable, they can just, you know, you make one mistake, they all can take you down. Yeah, you got DK Metcalf, you had Geno, which you know it's going to be more pocket. He's not going to really run with it. And then you got some opportunity. You got pretty decent running game and those things. Then you got Lockett, who can make some plays. But outside of that, it was the same thing the week before with Arizona. You know, when you become a one-dimensional team, it's easier for this defense to kind of find that rhythm. But where I see that they're going to struggle is when teams start to pick them apart at different areas and they start to use really a lot of things that they are doing as strength against them. So when you are in your strength, teams are exposing you. Now what happens? And I'm not saying that, that's going to happen anytime soon, but I know there are teams that are going to face that's going to be a problem.
I know. So Herm, that's great because there's 2 parts to that. And I know mentally I ain't going to remember both of them. But, man, you so right. So I say the first thing is, right, since I played in 2 and won 1, is to win a Super Bowl, all the stars got to line up right for you. Certain things got to happen right for you throughout that year for you to win the Super Bowl. And you're right, bro. Think about it. All the O-lines that we face, they've been beat up. Their starters hadn't played. Aidan has feasted off them guys. You know what I'm saying? So you're right. That's a lot of. So when the team got their full starters there, then how do we look against them? You're absolutely right about that. And then like you saying, to me, Herm, I think the thing they're going to have to work on, because, yeah, you're right. And I like for them to attack, and I love the way we're playing defense. But what we're going to have to do is disguise it a little bit more. Because man, if a veteran quarterback know you coming, man, he automatically got a beater, a blitz beater sitting there. He going to kill you with it. So know that. So I think the thing we're going to have to do more is just kind of disguise more or when we're coming. You know what I'm saying? They might have to come from distance. We might have to do, to me, what I like is how Arizona uses Buda Baker, you know, because a lot of his blitzes, Herm, they come from depth. Old boy don't be up in the box, man. Old boy be way back there. So you don't know if he coming, and he be blitzing from way back there. So to me, we could do Brian Branch the same way, because as the season progresses along, we're going to have to figure out different ways of disguising how we coming after these teams. So like you say, you know, man, we got some dogs we got to face.
Right.
Think about it, man. We got, look, even when they come off the bye, you got to deal with Dak. Now, I know Dallas ain't the same as they've been, but he got CD over there. He got some weapons, man, that he could use against us and everything. And I don't know what it is every time we go to Dallas. It'd be something crazy every time we go there.
Yeah, disguising the defense is big, because I think they don't make it, because you got to make a lot of calls. You got to do a lot of switching. And then when you're disguising, or you show blitz and then you step into something else, teams are really trying to effectively use the motion to get defenses to kind of show their hands. And where the Lions and any of these teams, the ones defensively I've seen that are really good, they negate the motion by staying in certain coverages. And because they have enough guys that they know that won't necessarily break an assignment, they're able to let, you have the quarterback motion, cross line motion or whatever, and then formation motion. And then they don't move, but they stay. And then all of a sudden it's still in man, or it's still in some type of a position that they didn't show, or they still bring heat or blitz. So that is something I think we'll continue to monitor. But yeah, they definitely have to have more disguises.
And the last one on the docket, because I just noticed a little bit of a generation gap here, a little bit of divide. All right, the black jerseys. Were you guys feeling them or not? Because the more I talked to some of the OGs that didn't feel them, but I thought they looked sick out there, the electric blue.
Yeah, you want me to go first? So I think the electric blue and the black is mean. Like I think it brings a certain attitude to it for the players. I think it gets the fans riled up a certain way. But I think the same can be said, no different than like we used to wear our throwback. And there was something about being in that versus the traditional. And then even sometimes when you go traditional, I think you can add a little swag to it with the helmet or something else without completely abandoning it. But I think it's just the generation that we're in, man. They love it, and there's these different color schemes and different themes that they go with. I think it brings fun factor to it. I know they do it because they sell a lot of merch. Instead of me selling you 1 or 2 jerseys, a home and away, I get to sell you, 4 or 5 different type of jerseys and all type of variations and mixtures. So they know what they're doing. I'll say that. But at the same time, the black would have been, nice to have. But doesn't matter. You got to still do your thing, because when we were in all blue, I'll tell you, when we wore our blue pants back in the day, I don't think we ever won a game. We wore the blue pants with the white jerseys, man. It was awful.
Hey, I ain't never wear those, Herm. We ain't never wore those.
Yeah,
not
the
when
throwback
I was
always a good one for me, man.
My last year was 95. We ain't never wear that. I never wore that combination there. I'm glad that we didn't either, man.
But when we threw it back, man, you know what? I will say this: when we threw back the blue socks, the gray pants, the different colored blue jersey with the gray numbers, and then the all gray helmet or whatever it was we were doing. Hey, man, listen, dude, it was just, you just look straight throwback. Like it wasn't, it was like you just knew you was coming to be mean in the game.
That was the gladiator look,
and we were beating people left and right in those uniforms.
You're right, Herm. Hey, I call that the gladiator look, man. Man,
that's exactly. That's it.
Hey, brother had air in his chest walking out there, because we was like, man. I don't know why they won't try to sell that jersey. Sell that as a merch jersey, because that throwback. I agree with you, Herm, on that.
I think because it's no thrills, man. LB, man, they were considered more bland. Like it's no hype to it, but it was just, that's the way it was supposed to be. Like, listen, we're just coming straight up. Here's a number, here's a jersey, here's my name on the back. And we getting away from all that other stuff. But
hey, Herm, it was kind of like Mike Tyson back in the day. He ain't
wearing
no
the black socks and the black
you
the
know
black
what I'm saying?
shoes and the black shorts. Yeah.
Just came on out there like I'm ready. I'm about
No
to
robe.
tear somebody up too, man. Yeah. That's how it
Yeah.
was.
So what do you think,
Right.
Easy? What do you think? Lo, did you like the black?
I did. I like it because again, like it's this generation, man. So we got to keep evolving with the generation, man. So I liked it and everything. And I tell you what, though, it was hard to read some of them numbers from upstairs because I know that's little things we was looking at, but that was the only thing for us. But other than that, they look good, Herm. But I still would prefer the throwback over all that, man. I still got my whole throwback sitting in my closet right now.
That's what I got, man. Hey,
yeah.
I kept my pants, socks, jersey.
Yep.
I kept them all. I got the whole thing, and I got it all framed together too.
Yeah.
That's probably my favorite one, even over my Pro Bowl ones.
Yeah, same here. Yeah, man. Yeah.
I knew it was gonna be I knew there was gonna be that gap there. I like them just because, like, to me, the black is menacing. You know, for me, like we grew up. Do you ever hear the meme like the Black Air Force energy? Like I felt like we were bringing that. You know, and the other part of it too is like kind of fits that villain arc that we kind of had going last year. You know what I'm saying? Detroit Lion villains, and now that our fans are in everybody's stadium, they don't, we're not the cute story no more. Now they hate us because we're taking over and beating the team too. You know, so it's like, I like the black, but I'm not gonna lie that the throwbacks they're clean. They're clean.
But did y'all?
The helmet, I'm telling you, I did like the helmet.
The helmets are cold. The Black Lions.
Did y'all notice the wall in Ford Field?
Yeah.
Did you see how it had the black bricks?
Bricks, yeah.
Did you notice the Herm? Did you see? Yeah, they blacked all that out all around the stadium. Had the black brick. Man, it was sweet how they had that thing laid out, man. So yeah, man, I'm telling you, they went all in on that with the black jerseys.
That's good to know. I just like the helmet, so I'm gonna make sure I get me a full size of the blue helmet like that. I already got the mini helmets that I'm gonna be rolling out with because I like getting a lot of those, man. Just I collect the different ones. They put them out every year. Put those out. So we got to get a couple of those signed low for some people. Man. We'll make sure the people that are checking us out here, they'll get a couple of those Herm and Low signed mini helmets. And Lomas, because you signed so big, I'm gonna let you have your own helmet. I'm gonna get my own, and we give my way like that, man. Because there ain't enough room for both of us to be on one helmet.
I don't say it's big. I say it's legible. You can read it. He says big. I say you can read it. Thank you. It's legible.
Yeah, without needing to go get some readers.
No, it's because it's great penmanship.
Is that what it is?
The letters are.
Whatever, man.
Look, some of the autographs these days, you can't even read the numbers. Don't even try to read the name.
Agree.
You can't even hardly read the numbers nowadays. Come on, man.
I got a ball signed from the 0-16 team, and I went to go see if Campbell signed it. I don't even know anybody who signed it.
Thank you.
It was just there, like,
Well, I'll give you that, man. You got good penmanship, man. Your signature's good.
There you go, young man.
You know who else? I guess you and Jason, man, I would say are two of the guys I've seen have pretty good penmanship. You and Jason Hanson. And of course, myself.
Yeah. You know who else had great penmanship was Lim Barney. Man, Lim would sit down easy. Lim would sit down and write during a paragraph per autograph. I'm telling you, man, to whoever, Lim Barney, God bless you, Hall of Fame class, whatever, this, and then he'll throw a Bible script on that. I love Lim, but he would do this on every autograph. I was like, oh,
and he would make sure he got one of those passages that was big. Listen.
Yeah.
And I'm like, Lim, there's no room for anyone else. But Lomas, I'll say this with you though, man. You just sign slow. And that's why I don't like doing signings with you. I'm like, man, y'all need to just come my way first, and then y'all can have the traffic jam over there with Lomas and the car broken down in the fast speeding lane and the HOV lane over here. That's Lomas Brown. He just backed up all the traffic.
Look, man. Hey, like females say, and Chrissy ain't on here with us, but they say beauty takes time. Well, that's what I'm saying, Herm. That I'm giving you a work of art every time I sign. That's a work of art that you're getting. Okay, Herman J. I want you to treasure it. Treasure that work of art that you get every time I sign.
When he started calling you Herman J.
That's why you my man.
That's Herman J. Moore.
Hey,
former kicker, former high school kicker. I had to bring that up at the table.
Lomas,
Half of the guys, hell, Jason didn't even know it. Our kicker,
before we let you
didn't know. Did Jason know you were a kicker?
Hey, you know what? I didn't want to make him feel jealous. I wanted him to feel good about his 50-yarders.
My high kicker
I was kicking those in high school.
He used to be a kicker.
I'm just saying that's what athletes do. It's what athletes do. Is that what other sports you play?
No, track and field. I threw the shot put. What?
You play your other sports? What? Tonk, spades. What? Pennies? What? Like you like the pitch and pennies champion in Broward?
Curveball.
Come on, Lomas.
Hey, that's Dade County. Don't get it twisted.
Oh, I forgot. Y'all got a bigger count down there.
Yeah, it's Dade County. Don't get it twisted. What's wrong with you?
Oh man.
Yeah, man.
Hey, well, make sure you guys smash that like button. Hit that thing like an insult to your mother. Subscribe, be a friend, tell a friend, share the stream. It sounds like we might give away some signed helmets. So, leave a comment. You might get some sent to you. I'm just saying. Anything you guys want to shout out before we let you get going?
Yeah, just shout out to the fans, man. Shout out to the team, 3-1 going into the bye, and everything that's continued to pick up from where they left off last year, and things look good. So it's all that. It's a good time to be a Detroit fan of the sports and of the teams, and yeah, it's great, man. I appreciate everybody. Don't forget to hit that, smash that like button, and continue to be a part of joining myself and Lo and Easy here while we sit here and talk sports, man.
Hey, man. Yeah. Can you explain behind you? You ain't explain that.
Oh, you mean explain that right there?
Yeah, man. You need to talk about that.
I had to do this, right?
Always get on here, man. We got stuff to sell.
Man, we got stuff
to give the people an opportunity to even purchase stuff, man. Talk about it, man.
Hey, Easy, see what I got to deal with?
That's what I'm talking about. But you see what I'm dealing with, Easy. That's what I'm saying. That's merchandise.
We're gonna let people have it. We're gonna give people the merch. Listen, all y'all, we're gonna give y'all merch. We got some other really cool Herman Low stuff for y'all to have. Lomas Brown, we want to talk about the sports side of it first. We want to get you through the content of what we have. And then Lomas want me to sit here and play Home Shopping Network. We're not doing that out the gate. We're not doing it right out the gate. Listen, but this is one of our stretch canvases. I know many of you have seen where we have the blankets, the Sherpa blankets, and some of those other things. This year, we're letting go with the stretch canvases. If you want to be able to put some of those up, we got 32 of them. This is one. They told me to take the Chicago Bear one off the wall because Lomas said, "Hey, man, we're not even playing the Bears right now. Take it off the wall."
It make no sense.
I put up our main one. This is the main one right there. Your Herman Low, canvases. You can kick that one better. How'd I do, LB?
Yeah,
Is that better?
You really didn't sell it, but that's all right.
I like giving stuff away.
What's the theme of it, Herman J? Isn't that from the Lion King? Isn't that the theme?
It's the Lion King, man.
Yeah.
But I would say with you, it looks like Coming to America.
James Earl just passed now. He just died. Simba just passed.
Yeah, he did.
Legend,
Coming to America, man. We lost James.
And you know what I didn't know? And this is the part and I guess it's my fault, but I didn't know he had Michigan ties. I didn't know he was tied to the state. Yeah.
Is he?
Yep.
Yeah, he had Michigan ties here, man. So man, that's a legend. That voice there, that's irreplaceable.
So you got that one or Morgan Freeman?
Huh?
You got James Earl Jones or Morgan Freeman?
On voices?
That's a good one.
Wow, that is a good one right there. Because Morgan he be bringing it too. I think, I might have to go more. I'm going to
give you a moment of pause just for a moment.
That is a good
I don't think you can go wrong with either one.
Yeah.
You got one that was just, they're both legendary in their own right.
For this one, you got to go Morgan. Just Morgan's voiced God on multiple occasions. You know what I'm saying? So he's just, if you've been chosen to voice God, it might be him. All due respect.
Yeah. I think I got to go Morgan Freeman too. Yeah. I kind of. Yeah, no, we don't need that, Herman. That's something we don't need. We ain't need that. That was a couple of seconds of our life and the listeners' lives they could have saved right there. Don't need it, Herman. No.
Hey, Lomas. Hey, I'm gonna tell you what. Hey, those provisioning centers and retail stores out there over where you live, man. I see that they got all your money, man, don't they?
What? No, I ain't got nothing to do. What they got to do with me?
I'm just saying, man.
Provisioning centers. I don't know what. Hey,
we out of here.
Easy. First of all, you saw how he had jokes at first, right? Talking about me showing up at the Lions party, and then all of a sudden now I'm talking about you showing up here on the show.
I'm telling you, man, it was flowing. That's what I'm saying, man. It was flowing. It was flowing, Herman J. Flowing.
Hey, that's it for us, guys. We'll see you next week. Hit the like button.
Appreciate you.